Hi, this is Laura Tejado from Holding Out for a Hero, and I am just so thrilled. I am here with none other than PBS NewsHour's Judy Woodruff, who I wrote to on day one of Holding Out for a Hero over 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
What an emotional moment it is, I think, for both of us, really.
It's an emotional moment for me, Laura. I was so impressed when I read what you were writing 3 years ago as a young woman, being very open about what you were dealing with spina bifida and trying to raise awareness as a mother of a son with spina bifida. I'm always on the lookout for people who can talk about the spina bifida experience and what it's meant to them and their families. But what you've done by your blogs, by your writing, your advocacy, the tweeting you're doing, you have raised the awareness of this most disabling birth defect in the United States more than anyone I know of.
And let me tell you, I think the most disabling thing for us really is just the lack of awareness and of just the resources. There are resources, but they're not always crystal clear, and they're not always right there where you can find them. That is the disabling part, because when you find the resources and when you have the community, a supportive community around you, it's empowering.
No question. And you and I were just talking about how when you're a child, when you're very young, there seem to be the whole world is out there, wanting to help you. There are doctors, there are specialists, there are teachers and others. But when you get a little bit older and you're leaving secondary school and thinking about college or
trying to get out of the world,
secondary, that's what post-secondary, and trying to think about a career and a job, it's much more difficult. The medical community is much more scattered in terms of its ability to work with people with spina bifida.
Getting adult
jobs and getting care, and that's why it's so important to talk about this transition period that you're in as a young woman.
Exactly. As a mom, if you don't mind my asking, as a mom, what has been, you think, the biggest challenge for you, being a mom of well, first a child, of course, and then an adult with spina bifida, and how has your perspective on just issues in general, how has it changed since you've had your son?
It's a long story, but I'll make it relatively brief by saying that's right. Once parents get over the initial shock of understanding that they have a child with a significant disability and trying to put yourself in the shoes and in the head of that child and trying and having to see the world through that child, it changes your experience. It changes you as a person. Our son Jeffrey was born with spina bifida, and then when he was 16, there was an accident, and he was profoundly disabled as a result of that. And now he carries with him several significant disabilities. And what I've been able to try to do through Jeffrey's eyes is to understand that people with disabilities are just like everybody else. They want to have a life just like everybody else. They want to have friends. They want to be able to experience life to the fullest. They want to be able to be contributing members of society. They want to have opinions and be taken seriously.
Absolutely.
But so often other people don't look at them as folks like us. And
I think
they have
it's
to work
sad.
at that.
We're often seen as less than human, not quite subhuman, but definitely like a part of a person. Exactly.
And that's not fair. It's not right. And we can't go on like that. I mean, this country has been through the civil rights movement for people of a different race, for African Americans. We've been through the women's movement.
Right.
We are now going through, I would argue, the gay rights movement. I believe we need a movement to advocate for people with disabilities, and that's why I'm so proud of what you're doing.
I'm very, purist when it comes to human rights. I believe that you're either for human rights or you're not. Either if you're for human rights, you're for the whole entire package. It's not something that we can pick and choose. Okay, I want to support this person, but let's not let this person vote. Let's not let this person get a job. Let's put this person, in this type of job, in this type of job environment, because that's the only thing that they'll ever be good for. I don't believe that. I believe that you're either for human rights or you're not.
Exactly right. I mean, it's that what you're saying is you want the human experience in all its dimensions to be available to people, to everyone with disabilities. There's no reason that it not be. And we as a country, we've come such a long way, but we have so far to go.
Exactly.
We have so far to go. And that's why courageous people like you and someone as young as you and remarkable and smart as you to be doing what you're doing makes all the difference. You know, they say it takes one person to change the world, and I really believe that's true. I really believe that's true.
And I just want to elaborate on what you're saying and say that I always say that it takes a village to raise a child or to raise a person. To me, I think I am the direct result of the village that I've been able to kind of foster, or that has fostered me in a way. So I'm really just a product of the people that I've been blessed with. And if I can ask you just one more thing, I mean, I get emails all the time from moms of children with spina bifida. Some of them are horror stories and some of them are hope stories. And whether the issue is abortion or whether the issue is, transition care for, older children, or whether it's, mainstreaming or inclusion in school, these parents have one common denominator, and it's worry. And I can tell you now, as a 25-year-old, and I'm sure you can tell me that it never stops. They will never stop nagging and worrying, and
that's right.
What can you say to these moms if you ever come across moms of young children or moms who are starting the spina bifida journey? What do you want to say to them? What do you want them to know?
They should know that life is so precious, and that they are enriched by having a child with a disability, with spina bifida, that their life will be more open, that their eyes will be open to many more things than will other people who never have that experience. Your life, by having a child with a disability, your life is so much fuller and so much richer and has so many more textures and layers. I wouldn't trade my son Jeffrey for anything in the world. I would not trade the experience of having him for anything in the world. And having met your mother and your father today, I know they feel the same way. They wouldn't trade that for anything. And that's and I will also say this very quickly, Laura, that I have two other children who do not have spina bifida, but it's true that parents worry about every child, no matter what their issues are. So it's a universal characteristic of parents to worry about every single child.
Absolutely, it's not exclusive.
Exactly, but for a child with a disability, a child with spina bifida, it introduces a whole new set of complexities. You go to sleep tired every single night, but you go to sleep feeling exhilarated and blessed that your life has been enriched by this amazing person. That's how I feel about my son. That's how I feel about you. I know your parents feel the same way about you.
And I know several bloggers that are moms that blog about their children with special needs, autism and Down syndrome, not spina bifida, but they would agree with you. They see their children as a blessing and not an inconvenience, not anything different. They're just their kids.
No, sure there's more energy involved and more this and more of that, but life is that way. More fighting.
The fighting spirit.
But that's what, to me, that's what makes life worth living, is figuring out what's important and fighting for it.
You have to have something to fight for,
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm so proud of what you're doing, and it's just a fabulous experience for me to finally get to meet you.
I'm just overwhelmed because I never would have imagined that right here in my hometown, make sure you watch PBS NewsHour and look out for coverage, for the election is a big story this year, obviously. So I'm just amazed and floored that I had the opportunity to meet her during arguably the busiest time of
It's a busy
schedule.
time, but I wanted to make time for us to
Thank you.
get together.
And I have to say that just knowing you, even through emails or tweets and whatever over the years, has been a tremendous blessing for me, and very encouraging.
And a blessing for me. And this is an amazing experience.
Thanks.
This young woman's going a long way.
And this woman rocks. #she rocks. Bye.
Bye.